Hey everyone, it's episode 3 of the Murder Bridge. And of course, I'm your host, Soup, along with Claude Dupree and ya boy Doobie in the house. All right, so we're going to just dive right into our first topic today. Smolder just came out, the tiny little dragon that everybody thought was ugly as fuck, but then they
He
fixed
was.
it.
He was.
Yeah, that splash art was hideous. He's actually kind of a little cute guy in game, though.
Yeah, they actually. I think after they took the opinion of everyone else and redirected it, it looks way fucking better.
So
Because
first blush response for his gameplay though. Like, have both of you guys gotten the chance to play it? Doobie, have you played it yet?
I did get to play it once.
I've played it on Aram once, and I've played it on Rift a couple of times. Yeah, it's been
And
eluding us, dude. That shit.
what does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Does it take too long to stack? I've heard him described as like another Aurelian Soul, right? This whole dragon stacking a passive. Once you get late enough, you just win for
Well,
free.
it's a bit better. Because unlike a soul where you're just stuck in the middle of nowhere forever, this champion's like early game actually is pretty good. You get a Sheen
Hmm.
item and it's very, very strong. And in ARAM, you just start with the Sheen, and that's just strong overall. And it feels like for a champion like Asol, when Asol is scaling, he scales from a bad champion into a good champion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For Smolder, it feels like he scales from a good champion into like a really fucking good champion. So
Yeah,
he's
something's crazy with that
so
champion.
he starts out in a good spot. It doesn't feel bad to play him early.
So what's the play style then? Doobie, you said you got a chance to play him as well. Do you just like play him like Vayne or Aurelian Soul? Like, do you ever take flight on him in ARAM? Like ever?
Yeah,
Just for the self peel, it's really good for move speed.
it's insane.
Uh,
The E is
yeah,
nuts.
he is really good. And then he has other self peel like from his W and alt because it
Mhm.
heals him. And you're just spamming Q the whole time. I think he's pretty good.
Spam and Q. So is that the AD build that you've tried out?
Yeah, definitely with Essence Reaver or Trinity Force, they're both good.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think when you do the AP version, you still go Lich Bane. It's still a lot of Q spam. It's like your Q is the core of your kit for the most part. It's just
Yep.
on a super low cooldown, and you spam it. And if you last hit with it, you get stacks.
So I've been seeing, at least on Summoner's Rift, a lot of Shojin builds. Like not necessarily tanky. I know we had one of those in our recent games today, but
Yeah.
like Shojin plus anything. Like just the fact that your Q gets that crazy low cooldown, you can spam it a lot more, especially with Sheen CDR items. Have you guys seen a lot of that, or is it really just a Sheen item?
It's I think it's mostly just Sheen items is what's really drives them over the top, but I haven't tried Spear of Sojin on him yet, so
Mm.
I don't have much of an opinion. I'm telling you, dude, like how many ARAMs have we played in the this last week since Smolder got released? It's
Not enough.
well, okay, maybe you haven't played enough, but me and Doobie have most certainly played at least 40 games.
Yeah, he
That
feels like he's dominating everything.
uh he like has been in maybe 4 of our ARAMs total.
Mm.
So he's been elusive as hell, but he every time he's been in a game, it's been really strong.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because that'll definitely segue us into the next topic that we have.
Well, I mean, there's more to it than that. It's like there's the AD. Apparently, well, according to stats, the AD build is really good, but AP in ARAM is like king. Apparently,
Why though?
it's way more like AOE damage, and it has this crazy low cooldown on his ult, which is just becomes this really strong spammable poke. It
Hmm.
actually is way more consistent than AD, I think. And the win rate shows it too. Well, I've been looking at the win rate for AP versus AD all week, just keeping a close eye on it. And let me pull it up real quick.
No, you can't pull up win rates.
I'm looking
Can't
at
pull up win rates. No, you can't pull
pulling
up win rates at all.
I'm pulling up Smolder, dude. So
I was gonna use Smolder. You're actually inting.
AP Smolder averages what is it, 67.85% win rate. It's not as many games as AD, but AD averages a 50% win rate in ARAM.
Where are you getting this?
This is OP. No, this is U.GG right now for Smolder and ARAM.
Smolder in ARAM. Patch 4.3.
And if you look at the stats for items based on win rate in ARAM, all the highest win rate items are AP items.
Wait, how? I'm not seeing this. I'm actually not seeing this. I see Smolder at 48.47% win rate.
Here, we can pull it up. We can look at ARAM. Okay, I guess AD and NA is a lot higher. So 59.45. And then we swap over to A. How is there? So just based on this alone with these low stats, AP is way higher winner out of the few Smolder games that have been played so far.
Okay. Why is he on the main list though? If you just go ARAM tier list,
it's gonna show whatever people are playing the most, which is AD, because that's what people assume.
So I'm asking, why is ARAM tier list filtered to NA 14.3? Like, do this on your screen.
It's gonna be low. I was saying because it averages out based on the build people go the most. So the build people are going the most is averaging that win rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is he just loses.
Yeah, which says it's bad, but in reality, it's not.
So people just suck at him, is what you're saying.
People are sucking at him, and they're building him incorrectly.
Okay.
So
interesting.
AP Smolder is a way higher win rate. It's the way to go, apparently, according to the data, at least.
According to the data, go AP. Don't build what everyone else is building, because there's a difference of almost 10% win rate between those things.
AP Smolder is the way to go. Way strong. Giga strong. AD Smolder, you're trolling. Maybe that tank build on Smolder in our game earlier was kind of cracked. That guy was...
it did feel like it was pretty oppressive.
That guy was doing it, and once you hit the point where you have enough stacks where your Q is doing the true damage burn, which executes, it's just insanely stronger. It's all...
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is get to, what is it, 225 stacks?
Yeah,
and then
which is
you get the
a lot,
Elder buff.
In ARAM, it's easy because you also get stacks just from hitting champions with your abilities, which happens. Yeah. So NA just needs to stop sucking. Open your mind.
All right, well, we'll give it a try. Obviously, everybody loves to roll the newest champion if they get it, and trade it around when we get more of it. All right, topic 2 is guess the win rate ARAM edition. So I'm going to look up from just like close your screen, of course, because you're going to cheat. No cheating. We're doing U.GG ARAM tier list, ARAM server, patch 14.3, and I'm going to poll you guys. And the way this game is going to work is we're going to tally up your guys' points to see who wins by the end of it, okay? So I'm going to ask a few questions. You get a point if you're within 0.5%, okay? That's pretty generous.
0.5%? Wait, no, that's fucked.
0.5%. No, that's pretty generous. 1% is like, dude, there's way too many things that are going to be within 1% of, 50%. So,
okay.
All right. You have to be within 0.5%, but each one of you can get the point, right? I'm not going to say who's right or wrong until both of you answer. Okay. So we're going to start. We're going to start with, we're going to start with the trees. Okay. We're going to start with Ivern. You guys know I play this every so often. I like to build him, the support build. Starting with you, Claude, what do you think his win rate is overall in NA this patch on ARAM?
Ivern, 52%.
Okay. And Doobie?
Really, I'm gonna lowball. I'm gonna say 49.
49. It is 52.06.
Let's go.
All right, so there we go.
He's good support, dude. The champ's goated.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty strong. It's obviously his Q is like a snowball for the team. It's pretty fun.
Indeed.
All right, and Sundered Sky on a bunch of melees. You just get him. Yeah, it's nasty. Okay, more supports because I love supports. Okay, so we're gonna start.
This whole
with...
segment's just gonna be Jake asking us to guess.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna guess my champions. Nah, we're gonna do some others. But the next one is also a support. I love to play this champion. Anytime I get it, I'm gonna trade for it. Right, Zillion. All right, Zillion. They've got 5,000 matches.
He's got a shit win rate for sure.
Doobie, what do you think his win rate is?
Say 47.
Okay, Claude.
48.
Well, you both get a point because he is exactly 47.5.
Fuck.
Wow. I did not expect you guys to both split that.
That champ, as funny as it sounds, is people, if they don't play it, they're bad at it. Like, so.
Yeah, if you're bad at it, he's kind of useless.
Not great.
Yeah. What about Nocturne? Now, Nocturne recently feels like buffed, at least on Summoner's Rift, because he's got that crazy experimental hex plate, and yeah, there's some pretty good items for him. Sundered Sky. So what do you guys think? Where do you think Nocturne's win rate is in Aram? Claude?
47.
Doobie?
I'm gonna go with 46.
You guys both failed, but you guys are on the right track. He is below 50%. He's at 48.46%. You know, he's still got to go in. He's still gonna get wrecked.
Yeah, I was pretty sure he was low.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty hard if you have to go in. So, the next one is a champion I particularly hate to play against. I feel like it's super oppressive, chunks too much damage. It's been a problem for a long time in Aram, in my opinion. Zed. Zed. Doobie, you've played him. Claude, you've played him. We don't really like to play against it. So, Doobie, what do you think Zed, his win rate is right now?
Based on the Zeds I've seen, it's always a coin flip, so I'm going to go with 50.
50, right on the dot. Okay. Claude?
I want to say it's below 50, but I'm trying to decide how low.
He's trying to decide by scrolling down.
No, I'm not cheating, I swear. I'm not. My hands are not on the keyboard. I'm going to say 48.
Okay, 48 and 50. Neither of you are close at all, actually.
Is it one of the lowest?
He is sitting at a 43.89% win rate. That's pretty brutal. Now, to be fair, we're pretty early on the patch, right? It just came out on Wednesday, so it's only been like 3 or 4 days. But yeah, he's way down in the dumpster. He's number 159.
Oh, he's the butt. Oh my god.
He's really down there. He's really down there. Okay, we're gonna switch it up. Bonus round for 3 points. Can anybody nail the lowest win rate champion? You get one guess each. Claude, you go first.
LeBlanc.
Doobie, your guess?
I'm gonna say Hui.
Oh my goodness.
That's a good one.
Claude got it, actually.
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
That brings in 5 points. Doobie, you got 1.
Doobie's getting smashed.
All right, so Doobie's favorite
earlier, bro.
I hardly. I look at that list every day.
Yeah, that's true. We do stare at it a little bit. Doobie just chills out. He's like, I like my champions. I like
me too. I do the same thing, but sometimes I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, it can. Yeah.
Well, LeBlanc has been down there forever, dude. Like,
yeah,
she's been on the bottom for maybe like the last 6 patches, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the champ is so oppressive sometimes. Like, you don't want her with above 50% win rate.
I think when Hui came out, he was down there for a while.
Yeah.
But now
I mean,
he's
that's
Yeah.
Smolder was like 39% on day one, so
yeah.
Mhm.
It's most champs day one, but
All right,
how it is.
another bonus round. Okay, but this one's a little bit different. What is Doobie's win rate on Katarina in his last 20 Katarina games?
fuck 80,
Uh,
85.
85.
Say it.
I think it's sub 50.
You think it's sub 50? Wait, you gotta guess a number. I'll say if you're
Uh,
within 2%, then I'll give you the
48.
3 points. Either of you. What'd you say? 48?
48, yeah.
Claude, what's your actual guess?
Oh.
85? Really?
Wait, okay, wait. I can't go that high.
Within 2%.
Jake's
I mean, you can.
Superman's giving me a freebie. I'm gonna go. Maybe I lower it 70%.
That's a huge belief. All right, neither of you get the points, but Doobie's got a 58% win rate on Katarina. And the crazy part about this is everyone else's Katarina is garbage. Katarina is fourth from the bottom on the main tier list, 42.3%. But you put it in Doobie's hands, and the guy's up there with a 58% win rate in the last 20 games. So I think that deserves a shout out.
Yeah, truly.
All right. On to the next one. So we've been talking about some champions that really struggle. This next one is above 48%. That's all I'll give you so far.
Okay.
But this is a champion with a pretty low play rate. Okay. At least so far this patch. Rek'Sai. I know at least Doobie, you play this every so often. Not necessarily your first pick, but what do you think, Doobie, is Rek'Sai's win rate right now? Only 800 matches played on this patch.
God, I don't know. 51.
Can
Clock?
I like YOLO? Okay, I'm gonna say like I think it's higher. It's like maybe I'm gonna say 53.
Dang. Not quite close enough. He's actually at 55.3. Again, small sample size,
Really?
but yeah, he's number 5 on the win rate right now in
The
NA.
Sunder champs, dude.
Under Sky and
And the
Pen. Pretty
radar.
crazy. Yeah, for sure. Radar works really well. All right. We got J-Trox next. J-Trox, what do you guys think the Aatrox actually is for everyone's play?
Fuck,
so far on this.
last patch it was high, but they nerfed
Claude?
Sundered Sky, so I'm thinking. I'm gonna say 51. I feel like it's highballing.
I'll say 53.
Doobie gets a point. There we go. All right. Yeah, he's at 52.5. So Doobie will get that point, bringing it to 5-2. We're gonna do just a few more. See if you can bring it back up, Doobie. All right. We talked about how there's some champions that just go in and you end up dying and struggling because of it. You know, Nocturne was one of those. What do you guys think about Zach? Zach, Claude, started with you. What do you think his win rate is?
I know he's high.
You think so?
I know
What do
he
you think
is.
it is? You know he is because you're looking at the page?
No. I'm not, I swear. But I want to say he's higher than that last 50, maybe 54, I'm going to say.
Okay. Dewey, what do you think?
Might be
Zach.
too high.
Yeah, tanks always have really high win rates. I'll say 55.
He's definitely top 20 right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. He is ranked 43
What?
at only a 51.7, and he's got thousands of games played, so he's definitely not skewed. Yeah, only 51.7, so no points there. Okay, this is a worth 2 points, but you lose the 2 points if you get it wrong because we play this champion so much, you guys. So you have to be within 0.5%.
You're just trying to ruin me. Oh my god.
No, I'm trying to make it competitive, okay? We play with this very frequently in our games. So if you guys can't get within 0.5%, I'm going to be very disturbed. Thresh. We'll start with Doobie. You be within 1%, I'll take it. Thresh.
The generous.
I'll say 51.
Okay. Claude?
That champ is easy, so I mean it's got to be high. I'm gonna say 52, even though 51 is probably the right guess.
So it has to be within 1%, and the correct answer is 50.95. So
Jeez.
Doobie was off by 0.05%, and Claude was off by over 1%. So he loses 2 points. It's now 3-4. Doobie takes the
What
lead.
the heck? A scam!
Hey, you got to do it. You even had the logic in there. You were talking through it, thinking about it. All right, we got 2 more rounds. We'll see if we get a tie or somebody comes out ahead.
Okay.
All right. Crazy champion the last 2 patches, actually. We even talked about it on here on the podcast. It wrecked us in one of the games tonight. Nico. All right. Nico with the Malignants, all these crazy changes. What do you guys think this champion is sitting at right now?
I'm saying 50%. 50%.
Just a 5-0 coin flip?
I'm just 50 in it. Yeah.
All right. It has to be within 0.5% for the 1 point.
People cannot have a brain and like not know how to play that champ.
Okay. All right. Doobie, what do you think?
I want to say it's low because she's short range, but I'll go with 51 again.
51? Okay,
Yeah.
the right answer is 50.9. So, Claude, you're not close enough. Doobie takes the lead 5-3. You're getting trounced.
Oh, I got the -2, dude. What
You
the
did get the
hell?
-2. Absolutely. I mean, you scammed yourself. You didn't get it. All right, final round. Another one of these, guess where it is. Okay, so I'm going to, for 3 points, you can't lose any. 3 points. So this is, Claude, your chance here is if you get it right and Doobie doesn't.
Woo!
Otherwise, Doobie de facto wins. Wait, actually, yeah, because no taking away points. All right, so here's your chance. I'm going to name a champion, and you guys have to tell me the win rate and be within 2%. Okay?
2%? Okay.
Within 2%. Okay. Here's a champion I love, and I will play it frequently. In fact, I'll probably play it anytime it's up.
It's going to be Yumi.
Annie.
Ooh. This patch, though, she's probably not great.
Claude, you got to go first. Within 2%. This is for the win, right?
48.
48. All right, Doobie.
I'll say 50.
50. And I said within 2%, right?
Yeah.
So
am I ruined?
It is not within exactly 2% of 50. So Doobie does not get the points, but the question is, does Claude? Claude's answer was 48%. And the correct answer is 47.94. Right on the money. Takes the lead by 1 point. Claude comes back from the Scamas. Takes it. All right, Claude, you got the win this week. This was fun. We should do this again in the future.
I actually really like this. Yeah, we should do this again because it's something that changes patch to patch.
It does, yeah. All right, Claude gets the bragging rights for a week. I don't think that you're allowed to play AP Ezreal because of it, though, so not this week at least.
Hey, I only played it that one time.
And it was so bad.
Well, I mean, we did not have a comp that was working.
True. Well, that does it for that game then. And yeah, bragging rights for a week.
Easy enough.
All right, our next topic today is obviously we're going to talk about the patch, right? We had a new patch come out just a few days ago, patch 14.3. And let's just start from the top. You know, there's 3 Aram specific nerfs. And the first is Briar. Used to have 105% damage dealt, but now back down to just perfectly balanced 100%. What do you guys think about that change?
Actually, I've played her twice now on this patch, and it's noticeable. Maybe more than twice. Maybe I've played her 3 times. It's definitely noticeable. It feels a lot weaker. Because on top of that, it wasn't this patch, but last patch, right? Where they made a bunch of changes to Briar. Making her build more bruisery than
Mhm.
They basically said stop building collector was what they did, and
Yeah.
it's very noticeable. But there is some fun things you can do with her now, which is kind of hilarious. Is you can go Heartsteel, and then it makes her passive, which increases her healing, makes it go really high. So I've been having games where baseline now her passive based on how low you are increases healing up to 40%.
Huh.
And with Heartsteel, I was getting it up to numbers like 110%.
Jeez, that's just not okay.
They like tuned up the number a lot for HP scaling on that.
Well, she's still sitting at a 55.55% win rate. So I
Yeah,
think it's
it,
fine that they nerfed her considering she's still top 3.
and the reality of it is that she builds that really good item called Sundered Sky, and even though they nerfed it this patch, it's still nuts on her. So
Fair. Do we agree with those thoughts?
Yeah, I think she still has her healing buff. She's still like super strong because of it, and I don't think she should be able to heal full health and murder your backline
it
at the
was
same time.
it was so stupid, dude. You
Yeah.
would get like 2 items and you could just tower dive anyone, as many people as you want on cooldown. It just didn't matter.
Yeah, it was
Now
ridiculous.
now you can't really do it quite as much, but yeah, it's a nutty champ.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Nutty Champ, last patch with the release of Malignance and all the changes to herself on the live server,
True.
Karma was just kind of insane.
She was
Karma just got a nerf for Aram specifically. On top of the regular nerfs she got
Yeah.
on this patch, right? She
Yeah.
got some of AP ratios tuned down a little bit on her
Well,
damage.
it was interesting because the nerf on this patch was they didn't nerf her Q AP ratio. They nerfed the AP ratio for when she does empowered Qs. So that
Yeah.
additional AP ratio that got nerfed by like 30%, right?
Right. Yeah, something like that. And so on Aram, they also nerfed her shielding. Yeah, both shielding given and shielding received by 5%. So it used to be 10% bonus, now it's just even. And her damage dealt used to have a 5% bonus, and now it's back down to just balanced at 100%.
Yeah, honestly, good change. Like that was the meatballs were a little too ridiculous.
Yeah, she could just throw it out on such a low cooldown, and I think they did it right because now Karma's just sitting at a 49.8.
Yeah.
So basically coin flip, and good Karma players will land those. Bad Karma players just throw things out. Will never mantra shield, So I think it's a healthy change overall. You can still go full support Karma and be really oppressive because it's so hard to chew through those shields without a good Serpent's Fang user.
I'm gonna make you for this one, Jake, or go pull up the win rate for TF right now. I'm curious what it's at.
Twisted Fate? All right, yeah, I'll pull it up. But how about you tell everybody about the changes?
Well, there was the AD TF changes last patch, and he used to have 120% damage buff on Aram, and they literally chopped his knees off. He's now down to 100% damage dealt. And I'm curious where he's sitting now.
Yeah, so within Aram overall, he's at a 5102 with quite a high pick rate. Like he's 10% of games. He's just always in these games. But the interesting thing is that, most people still go AP. But if you happen to go Lichbane AP, he shoots up to 55. And most people have been talking about that AD build, but that's actually his worst build.
Yeah, I don't think it's good.
48%.
There's no way it's good.
It's just too short range.
Truth is, the AP build, you get to a point where you just pull blue cards and one-shot people.
Yeah, especially with Lichbane. It's pretty crazy right now.
With the pen, too, everything, it's just scales to an absurd point. It's kind of the same thing that happened on the first patch of this season, where all these AP assassins were just all of a sudden insane. Fizz, all this junk was blasting people to pieces.
Yeah.
So... yeah, he's still in that boat where he just gets a Lichbane. I think most of those Lichbane mages are probably pretty high up on the win rate this patch.
Yeah, a lot of the Echo and the like. This next one on the list, now we're into buffs, right? Changes for Aram specifically that Riot put out on this patch 14.3. that's meant to improve the performance of certain champions. Now, this next one is Ashe, and they returned her W cooldown to actually be reduced by putting levels in it. And I actually want to ask you.
Barely
Oh,
goes down.
yeah. I mean, it can go down to 16 seconds,
From
but you're obviously going to.
18.
Yeah. So, Doobie, I wanted to ask you about this one because I've been seeing people are starting to build Malignance and Axiom Arc, and like you don't do any damage with basically anything. Your autos are your W, but your ultimate is back down to that insanely low cooldown. Have you been seeing this? What are your thoughts on the Ashe changes?
Yeah, I don't know why they would reduce her W again. It's like kind of missing the whole point of forcing her into an 80 carry role instead of just a caster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ult build is fine. It's just like kind of troll because you need more lethality in your build to use Axiomark well, and it's just she doesn't build any more of that. You just go like what mandate and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've been seeing the mandate build pop up again, and it's definitely not as strong as it used to be, but it's like it's kind of troll to go to build right now because I think 80 carry Ashe can actually pump.
Yeah, we saw one the other day with Infinity Edge, and it looked like she was doing damage.
Yeah, I've played it a couple times, and it's still really strong. It's really impressive.
So far, she's sitting at about a 50% win rate, a little less than, but not by much in Aram overall. But if you can actually get your core, by the looks of it, you get Kraken into Hurricane with boots, it shoots up to a 60% win rate. Like, you get some gliders going on there. Beyond that, you can look into the Wits End, the Blade of the Run King, and maybe even Terminus if you need some more survivability. And you still sit at well above a 50% win rate. So I think you guys are right. The on hits, obviously.
Don't build Terminus, dude. Terminus troll item.
You think so?
Yeah, that item is so bad.
Yeah. It needs 10 autos to be a max value, and it just takes so long in a fight.
You have to be a Gwynsu's user, and like there's other things you'd rather have if you're a Gwynsu's user.
Yeah, true. I think it's just for Kog'Maw.
I don't think Kog'Maw would want to build that.
Yeah. The next one on the list here is Hui, and I actually think this one might be over. Like this might be pushing it.
It's uncalled
They
for.
added 20 but 20 free ability haste for Hui. I don't really get this. Like he's such a strong champion in ARAM already.
People have figured him out now, and he's really good. So him getting 20 free ability haste is a bit ridiculous, uncalled for. Because a good Hui player will just empower E, crunch you, and then slam an ult, and you're gone. But
yeah. So he's sitting at a 50.12 win rate right now, and it looks like he's getting a higher play rate than he used to. People are actually willing to play him.
Yeah.
But I think a good Hui, it's like unbeatable. He's actually insane.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the strongest.
Just throw out there.
Yeah, he's by far one of the strongest ARAM champs right now. In my opinion.
I haven't had the chance to play him support yet, so
he's a cool champion, but yeah, the skill ceiling on that champ's insanely high. It takes a lot to figure out, but once you figure him out, it feels great right now because you get 15% CDR for free.
Mm-hmm.
So
this next change is Sivir. Now it's weird because on one side of the coin, they call it a buff because they raised the damage, her damage dealt overall on this map from 85% to 92%, which is such a weird one. Like nobody else is like 7%. But they raised the cooldown on her Q by 4 seconds early. Like that's long.
Yeah, it's funny too because I think she's the highest win rate 80 carry right now, even with these changes.
I'll fact check that. While I'm looking at that, I mean, have we been seeing her played as an 80 carry or more like a caster? I think lethality.
No, I think I've seen her being played as 80 carry last couple times. I've played it as 80 carry recently.
Part of her value is you can go like healed, shield, cut. Both of them and apply it to everyone for free.
No, not right now. Not right now. If you're playing Sivir, you play AD carry right now. I almost
Yeah, I
positive.
think
Her
she wins
build,
damage.
her highest win rate build is Static Shiv into Navori. And this is Aram, not just, the Rift.
Was she the highest win
Apparently.
rate ADC? I'm curious.
She is barely. You called it. Yeah,
Fuck
good
yeah.
call. She is. She's at a 52.9%, 98%. And Jinx is just 3 steps below on the list at 52.87. So like
And
just
it,
11%, 0.11%.
this is actually a massive buff, in my opinion. This
Yeah,
tells,
I think so too. Because it's her
this
W that does everything.
yeah, like actually, this is like Riot telling people, hey, stop going lethality. I'm gonna make your Q a higher cooldown so you don't,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna give you some damage back because 85% felt like ass. So going from 85% to 92% is a huge deal for an AD
Yeah.
carry.
Yeah, I used to feel like she was.
They got her out of
kinda
her
garbage.
wheelchair and put her on crutches.
Yeah. I mean, 53% win rate does not sound like crutches. It sounds like she's standing on her own 2 legs, doing just fine.
She's like going through the physical therapy thing where you're like walking, holding the poles.
Perhaps. I just know it's still really hard to play her when you're such short range.
And her
so
cue the whole
need
time
people
was
to
the
stand in front of you.
wheelchair. Noted. Okay.
Yeah, something
But
like
yeah,
that.
I think this change is awesome. It's a good one. Good job, Brian.
It is good. All right, so last buff on the list for this patch 14.3 is Zed. We brought him up in the fun little game show we did. Zed is just in the dirt right now.
Doo-doo.
I'm okay with that because I think he's unfun. I think he ruins ARAMs. I think he should have his knees chopped off. I think his parents should
You want him in the wheelchair now?
have disowned him or something. Yes, I
Oh,
do.
no.
He's currently, after these buffs, sitting at a 43.89% win rate. And I'm fine with that. They buffed him by giving him 5% more damage overall. And that's fine. That's fine. He should stay there.
The Cripple Zed Club. All right.
Yeah, I hate that champion because you can do a third of someone's health or more without putting yourself in any danger. And I think that shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, I
Um,
think he was. Zed is a weird one because he's got a low win rate, but that champ can be a menace. if you're playing, it's all skill cap. Like if you're good at that Zed, then you're gonna win. So buffing him makes it a little scary. Maybe he didn't need it. He definitely didn't need it.
You think so? I mean, his overall win rate says he definitely needs
Screw the
some
overall
buffs.
win rate. I'm not caring about the scrubs playing it. I want to see the win rate of people who know how to play Zed. Show me the win rate of people with 100k plus mastery on him in ARAM. That's what's gonna matter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's
I'm
data
sure we
we
can find that.
could maybe find it someday.
Yeah, somewhere. I just know that he can actually do pretty well if instead of going like some items people normally would think of, if you just go Profane Hydra, then you're actually above 50% win rate. Because that's like so good on the execute, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that item is way overloaded.
Yeah. If you rush that, you're going to get some kills. And then if you get some kills, you're going to become insane, right? Because you're still just going to be strong because you're Zed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
All right. Let's move to item changes. There's just 3 of them here that are ARAM specific.
There's 4.
First is that
because Hubris also, but they didn't include it in the patch notes. They actually didn't tell
was it
anyone.
ARAM specific?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So we'll talk about that. Actually, first off, Hubris. What did they change?
So instead of giving you 2 AD per kill, it gives you 1 now. And it totally went under Riot's radar, apparently, because it was a change that was set to happen. And then it didn't end up in the patch notes. So we were all questioning, it's like, oh, did they take it back? Like, did they decide not to change Hubris? And play the game, built Hubris? Hey, I'm getting 1 less AD per stack. So I don't know what Riot was thinking, or if whoever does patch notes wasn't informed. But yes, Hubris was nerfed also. Hubris got a big nerf.
Doobie, you just built Hubris on the Vayne build that was taking over last patch. And I know the game that you had Vayne in, it was kind of a pain, but did it feel good still, or did it feel like it's not actually worth going those kind of builds on AD carries anymore?
I think it's still fine to build. It's still free AD,
Yeah,
just for existing, but it
Mm.
was definitely a necessary nerf because that item was overloaded. You
yeah.
just end up with like plus 70 AD,
It
and now you
was
you only get like half that.
it was the premier. It was if you're an 80 carry, you should have been building that item. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was absurd how much free AD
Yeah.
you'd be
Just
getting.
rush it. No boots, no tier, no nothing. Just
Yeah,
rush
screw
it.
everything. Rush your hubris and
Yeah,
you're good. But yeah, they shadow nerfed it.
Yeah.
it's good. I think it was necessary.
All the item
Okay.
nerfs this patch are kind of absurd, but yeah,
They nerfed
that
it,
was a
but
good one.
still worth building. Okay, so Malignance. This item is like dog water now, right? Like it's just terrible.
They
They,
murdered
they
it.
the curse
It's pretty bad.
damage on Aram went from 60 plus 6% AP to like half of an AP ratio, less than half, and 40 flat per second. So it tickles, right? Like
Yeah,
it's so bad.
they reduce his damage by more than 50%, I would say, in the long run, actually.
Yeah.
It does no damage anymore. It's
Mm.
the only reason you build this item is if you really want the ulti CDR, which is fair. I think some champs can appreciate that, but it's kind of hilarious how butchered they hit it with.
Yeah. I think this is a healthy change. Corky, Karma, all these like super abusers of Malignance.
Wait, you think
This
this is a
shouldn't.
good change? I don't think this change was necessary at all.
Oh,
This,
really?
yeah,
Why?
I think that item was fine doing what it did well, and I think it should have been doing what it did well. It had a place.
So I would rather see Malignance not have bonus damage burn weird crap that's in a pool underneath you and just have better stats overall that are focused around your ultimate. Like I would actually enjoy it being 30%, 30 ability haste. Yeah. I don't know. It's such a weird item because like it's really expensive. Uh, its full cost is 2,700. I feel like it's a healthy change.
Fair. I don't
Yeah,
like the
me too.
change. I don't like the change. I like it when items are impactful and actually do things, not here's a sad little puddle that does maybe 40 damage.
I agree with that sentiment. Like it's stupid that it has the little burn if it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But there are too many instances where it's undodgeable. Like Corky landing a big rocket and then all of a
Good.
sudden his
Good.
Leandries
It
or
should.
Ludens or
I
whatever.
think it should. He has to hit a champion. Like
Huh?
that's fine. That was
Except that he doesn't because it can Ludens. It can proc off of Ludens and then all of a sudden
it does not
it's
proc off of Ludens.
well the big one, the rocket, is
Just
like impossible to miss.
if the AoE
And then
hits,
the
yes.
burn follows you if he goes. Yeah, I just think it's ugly.
Good. I mean, look at the win rates last patch, right? Corky wasn't up there. He wasn't that high. So
Really?
was it making that big of a difference?
I felt like Corky was so oppressive last patch.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
While you're looking that up, Sunward Sky. You say you want items to be impactful. That is an impactful item. Okay.
Yeah.
140% base AD plus 6% missing health is how much it heals for. And now instead it's 120, so minus 20% base AD and 4%, so 2% less of missing health. What do you guys think about that change?
I found it though. Guess Corky's win rate last patch.
49%.
Do we?
I think it's lower, probably 47.
48.37.
I
So
wouldn't have gotten the point.
cool champ, right? But he wasn't abusing malignance. Like
really?
ridiculous.
Like you don't think he was abusing it, but you said what was his win rate last patch?
I'm saying it was 48.
Yeah, and guess what it is now that they nerfed Malignance? 44, bro.
Yeah, so he needed.
That's what I call abusing an item. Yeah,
he needed
needs
the
buffs,
item,
but the item was stupid.
No, the
That's
item was
saying.
totally fair on him. It was still below par.
I disagree.
None of the highest win rate champions last patch were Malignance abusers.
It's not about who is the highest win rate. It's how much does that item's damage impact certain champions.
It
Like they
seems
nerfed
like it was
Teemo into the ground because of it, and now Teemo is 45% win rate.
Yeah.
When he used to be one of the top 15 champions because of his shrooms, but now they nerfed his shrooms, they nerfed whatever. Now they nerf Malignance. It's just gone. So I'm saying Malignance was too strong.
No, it was actually balancing champions, is what it was doing.
But
Teemo got his other set of nerfs, which balanced him, but the Malignance nerf was uncalled for. It was actually bringing champions to a healthy win rate in comparison.
I don't believe items should be what bring champions to a healthy win rate.
I think that should
totally
be their kit. If you can build an item and it helps you win, yes, that should be the case.
Yeah, I just don't think it should be a 5% difference.
Well, who are you saying it made a 5% difference for?
Corki, he went 40. He went from your 49 or 48 and change, okay, down to 44 and change. So 4% win rate. That's significant. Okay, no other changes to Corki.
I think he belongs at the 48, not the 44.
Yeah, but you're saying it should be because of Malignance?
That's fine. That's fine. I think Malignance should be okay with doing that.
You're crazy. All right, well, let's move on. Storm Surge, another AP item, also got changed.
Good.
Oh, wait, we didn't even talk about Sundered Sky. Yeah, you're right. I think Storm Surge sucks, and we don't even need to talk about that one. But Sundered Sky, actually, is really interesting. Do you guys think that's healthy? Because Gore Drinker disappeared, and a lot of Gore Drinker champions then became, like, bad. Like, just straight up bad, right? And Sundered Sky, we can all complain about it. We hate healing, whatever. But it kind of took that place, right? And now they're nerfing it further. Doobie, you play some bruisers. What do you think about the change?
The item was definitely super strong, especially on champs that abuse it well, like Aatrox. You just ult and use your passive on someone and you just heal to full. What else? Other champs like Lee Sin, who has bonus healing. Like, certain champs were just crazy with the item, and I'm glad they're pulling it back a little bit.
Yeah. I feel similarly. I think I like to hate on this item a lot because you'll see someone's health bar just like not move in a team fight because it's a per champion cooldown. So in a 5v5, especially with a lot of that low range fights, a bunch of meatballs in there.
Superman knowing things like that? Impressive. You've been playing the game?
Yeah, or something. I don't know.
But
yeah, it's crazy because with that per champion cooldown, you can just stay super healthy. And I'm seeing a lot of people do Sundered Sky plus Heartsteel, and that reminds you to hit everybody in the fight. I think that's pretty powerful. I don't know. It's wild to me.
I actually think this change didn't make that big of a difference.
Yeah, I don't think so either, which I think makes it a healthy change because it didn't make a difference.
Agreed. I think this was an okay change, but it sucks. But because I like that item. But yeah, it still feels fine to play. Item doesn't feel awful. Unlike Malignance.
And then we touched on it for a brief second, and I'm gonna just read over it, and then I want to talk about one more change. So Storm Surge does slightly less damage now with the Squall.
Yeah.
Less AP ratio, less base damage, and is specifically nerfed for ranged users. But the last little one I want to touch on here, the last change for this patch, it's another one that didn't end up necessarily in the patch notes for Aram, but is true from the patch itself, and that's that Illaoi's Tentacle has a significant increase in its slam range. It's like the entire bridge now, like horizontally.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It feels so good. I played it just earlier today.
Yeah, you played it, but have you played against it?
It's maybe once, I think, from what I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yo, it's insane. I was blown away by the fact that you could was able to W minions and 3 tentacles would hit them.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up, what?
Well, the tentacles are out here using the freaking portals.
Yeah, they can
like ganking. Yeah.
They can fucking reach. Like, holy crap! It is so nuts, and this has had a huge impact, right? Because who's the highest win rate champion in Aram?
Illaoi.
Yeah, by a
significant
mile.
margin. Second place is Xin Zhao at 56.4. And you would look at that win rate and be like, that's too high. 56.4. But Ilaoi is sitting pretty with more games played than Xin Zhao, a 5% pick rate. And her win rate, get this, Doobie, is 62.93.
That's pretty high.
That's one of the highest we've seen in a
Big
while.
mama,
right?
Dude. Like, she just cannot lose.
When's the last time we saw someone
one of the
over?
highest.
Yeah, I don't. It's been like maybe 10 patches since we saw someone break.
It might have been, I don't know, like 20 days ago when they first did the item changes. New items came out, and then Teemo with Malignance.
Let me pull it up.
There.
That was he was not that high. He was at 54% that patch.
Yeah, and that felt unreasonable.
Yeah, that felt high.
63.
Yeah, this
so
change
there's
is
the context.
They're gonna do something about it, and I don't know what. They're
probably just. She probably has Ilaoi has. I'm actually gonna pull it up right now. She has Aram specific changes where she takes. Oh, she's nerfed in Aram by 5%. Damage taken, 5% damage dealt.
Yes.
Nerfed in both directions. That's crazy,
so
actually.
This is where I'm kind of freaking out because it's like, are they gonna make it so her tentacles don't slam as far on Aram, which would be the good change? Or are they gonna giga nerf her numbers? Are they gonna give her like a minus 15%? It's terrifying. I really hope they do this right, where they just make it so they don't slap as far in Aram.
Yeah, I think she's fun to play in Aram actually.
Yeah,
with all the healing in her kit, so you can be a melee champion and not be useless and just die.
This patch, I'm curious if it's gonna balance itself out over time with play rates and just win rates equalizing, because there is gonna be, at least by the end of this patch, there will be easily 5 times the amount of games played so far.
Yeah.
So it could even out, but this patch actually has some really high win rates.
Yeah. Speaking of, our next topic is going to be what is good on this patch.
I've been playing Vlad. He feels kind of underwhelming early game, but once you get level 9 for max Q and you get Riftmaker and Leandries, he feels really good. And he's sitting at like a 54% win rate or something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Insanely strong.
Oh, does he have a high win rate also right now?
No, so he actually doesn't. Vlad is in the dirt. He is 46.3. You're just goated at it, actually.
That's what I thought. I'm like, that champ is a dark horse right now, big time. And it might be something to do with build.
The most common build is...
no, it's the same build. Yeah.
It's the Riftmaker into Leandries.
Yeah, that's definitely his best build right now.
Yeah, and actually, Doobie, your last 20 games of Vladimir, you're at a 45% win rate. So he might... I mean, I do see quadra kill, triple, quadra, MVP. But,
so what we're pointing out right now is that if you're good at Vlad, he's a really strong champ right now.
Yeah, that's always been. He's a 1v9 champ for sure.
Yeah.
1v9?
It's so
much healing, you get invulnerability, a ton of damage.
I've been letting Doobie take the wheel on that champ. I am a very much so Vlad enjoyer myself.
AoE AP champions are just crazy. I really like Brand right now. He feels insane, right? Not having to spend a bunch of gold on mana items like you did in like last season and whatever. You can go Leandries into Rylai's and just murder everyone. And then, I hate to say it, but Malignance is pretty crazy on him because you reduce people's MR and you get that extra burn, which can, it's just burn into burn. And I feel like it's pretty amazing. You can even go Shadow Flame and see if you can get like people to die on your passive proc. I really like Brand right now. I mean, he's always just been a great in Aram, but he's also sitting pretty. He's up there. I think he's like in the top 5. I'll check right now, but yeah, he's ranked 6 on the Aram list, sitting at 55% win rate, 55-11.
Yeah, he is. Brand is amazing right now. Can't agree.
Who's your best champion right now then? Who feels good
Hmm.
for you then, Claude?
Who feels good for me right now? I've been playing a lot of tanks this last week, and out of the tanks, who feels good? I played a couple Poppy games. Poppy feels really good with just going
Mm.
Heart Steel into what's the item? Why can't I remember?
Sunder?
Jack Show,
Jock Show. Okay. Crazy.
which actually just feels amazing. And then you can just build whatever tank item you need from there, get your War Mogs, and you're good. And that champion is a Bastion. She just nothing stops her actually right now.
Mm-hmm.
The other champ that I think has been kind of nutty this patch is Senna. I think Senna is kind of getting away with her scaling this patch. Games are going longer, it feels
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels like, and when games go long, Senna is one of those champions that just kind of is, hey, I outrange all of you, good luck. And it bops. I think Senna is super good right now. You don't even need to go
Yeah.
hubris. Like, you just do what you want to do and it works. Build an attack speed and go tempo at least. But
Yeah, wow. This last game you played with Doobie 2 days ago, you were playing Senna. You did 75,000 damage to champions in 20 minutes. You had 17 kills, 33 assists, only 9 deaths, and you did go just like the IE Kraken LDR
yeah,
blade of the Ruined King, and you just glided on him. I mean, next highest damage in the game was only in like the 40,000 range, and you did basically double that.
yeah.
That's pretty wild.
I feel like Senna has been an absolute menace these last couple patches. But this patch especially, it feels like you just kind of get away with it, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Camp's so fun.
So
It
we
feels
mentioned,
good when you outrange people.
yeah, of course, you just space them. You know, I obviously love to play enchanters myself, and I've been talking for the last couple of episodes about how much I love that you can just go item CDR now without there being mythics. It means you can go lock and Shurelya's. But I have actually felt like it's not as strong as I wanted it to be. Locket itself is a little weak. Shurelya's is, it's got good stats, but it doesn't always fit every comp, right? And so it's a huge gold investment because it doesn't proc on shields like it used to. It's just the
Yeah,
active. So it
it's
doesn't feel as good. I've been doing this a while, and I have to say, I think just going mandate like AP items is better. Like
I,
mandate a full tier item, uh,
yeah.
and you can see this reflected in the win rates. I used to feel like, oh yeah, Janna and Melia or whatever are great, but even if you go and check those champions who are up there, right? Nami, Melio, and Janna are all
Well,
53%. But if you check their builds, they're not doing CDR on items, and I think there's a good reason for that. They're going mandate rush into like Ardent or Archangels, and I think it's because there's just there's just not enough value out of Locket and Shurelya's together.
I
I think
think
still the the redemption rush is still really, really, really strong. And if you can get away with it, you should definitely do that. But I'm feeling
yeah.
like it's not the case anymore that you can
I
just
don't know. I feel like it's composition based when you go that build because I love going that build when I play Blitzcrank or Thresh, and I've seen it do poorly and I've seen it do really well. I'm sure you've had the same scenario,
yeah,
Superman.
yeah.
Uh, we run it. It's I feel like you're gonna if you're going Locket and you have a team comp that's going in and the enemy team has got this burst or AoE that your Locket's getting good value for, it's amazing.
Where Locket is very niche. Like it has to be used in the fight. It's not good to use just to like block one skill shot or a spear or something.
Right.
And so you don't get as much value out of redemption, which can be used either to top people off in between fights or during a fight.
Or if
One of
you
the
have
things
a
I
lot of
love about
melees. If you have a ton of melees, Locket is
yeah.
amazing in my opinion.
What I love about redemption, especially with the CDR build, is that it's on like a 50-second cooldown.
I think it's
Sometimes
lower.
that
It's like
means
feels like 45, dude.
yeah,
It feels
no,
so low.
it's 50, yeah. And yeah, it's 50%. It's a 50 second cooldown. And I actually really like that it reveals.
True.
I think people don't think about this. Is it actually grants vision?
It's a
And
chaos scene tool. Let's be real.
No. Because the damage isn't that high. But you would be surprised how many times I've seen us win fights just because I push the
That's where you're wrong.
redemption.
Actually, its damage is actually absurdly high for an item. That
It's like, well, yeah, for an item, but it's like
10%.
150.
It does 10% max health as true damage.
Yeah, yes, it does.
Dude, just build 5 of them and bam, you beam them.
It's like 150. Yeah, it's like 150 damage per person about. But the point that I was trying to make is that vision is crazy with it, right?
Yeah.
Like you can cast it over the big brush, and the enemy will not realize that they're just straight up revealed. That lets you dodge some of the crowd control, lets you make the better play, and of course, if you chase them into it, then you dodge whatever they're trying to do to bushwhack you, and you get the heal, and they take damage. So I would disagree with your earlier point that you want to use it to top people off. I would love to save it for every fight.
Fair. Alrighty.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Murder Bridge. Of course, if you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe. We would love to hear your thoughts. All the stuff, right? We're all influencers now, I guess. But more than that, more than we want you to follow us or like us, whatever, we love to hear from you guys and hear what kind of stuff you'd like us to cover in future episodes. So hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to hear more again. I think we can all agree. We want to do that game show thing again. We want to do the guess the win rates. And I think we had a lot of fun with that. And of course, let us know what you think about the games that you've been playing. The Aram matches you've had.
Since I won this time, I'm going to host the next time. I want to see.
You're going to host the game show?
I want to see how terrible Superman is at this.
All right. I bet I'll blow your mind. Okay, well, we'll close it out there. And until next time, it'll be a couple weeks before we're back here to run down a patch and let you know what our experience has been like on the Murder Bridge.